much effect do you think a mouthpiece has on the sound coming out of your saxophone? That is the question. This mouthpiece has a large chamber and a small tip opening, and this one has a large tip opening plus a baffle in the chamber. What does all this mean? And what effects do they have on the tone? Well, let's find out. Hi, I'm Paul Hollis with another bite-sized saxophone lesson. Today, we're going to test two mouthpieces with different characteristics and ask what effect they have on the sound. Later in this video, I'm going to show you a great exercise to help your brain work out how to control the mouthpiece and reed setup that you currently have. It's a simple exercise and will have massive benefits. It's definitely a pro secret you don't want to miss. If you've not already done so, why not subscribe before we get started? It will certainly help me out. To be honest, mouthpieces are simply a vehicle for tweaking the sound you want to achieve rather than having a built-in sound. In my experience, it's not long after changing to a new mouthpiece that I find my sound making its way back to the tone I had before. Look, we all have our own unique sound. I know this is a video about mouthpieces, but I do need to mention that the skull and other physical attributes like dimensions play their part in the sound that comes out of the instrument. And that's why identifying a saxophone player's tone from a recording is similar to recognizing a friend's voice over the phone. So let's get back to the mouthpiece. There are three main elements which affect the outcome of the sound, and these are the tip opening, the lay, and the chamber. Gaining control over these is what it's all about. So later in this video, I'll be showing you a great exercise to improve your control over the reed and the mouthpiece. Later, we'll take a look at what's going on inside the mouthpiece. First, let's concentrate on the parts of the mouthpiece that affect the performance of the reed, and they are the tip opening and the lay. The tip opening basically affects how hard a reed will feel to play, and also how much manipulation of the pitch can be achieved. The wider the tip opening, the harder the reed will feel. So you could use a wider tip opening and a slightly softer reed, which will allow you to get more manipulation of the pitch, allowing for a more dramatic bending of notes. Sax players spend years experimenting with various tip openings and reed strength combinations, so if you're not already messing with reeds and mouthpieces, you probably will be in the future. Most saxophone players have got a drawer full of mouthpieces that they've collected over the years. The lay affects how much of the reed is allowed to vibrate. The longer the lay, the more of the reed will be present in the sound. The combination of tip opening and lay also affect the amount of pitch manipulation available. And what I mean by that is the amount you'll be able to bend a note. Now let's focus on the part of the mouthpiece that has the most effect on the tonal colour, and that is the chamber. The bigger the chamber, the fatter the sound. Some mouthpieces have a baffle, which is a built-up area at the front of the chamber. You can see the difference in these two mouthpieces. The baffle increases the brightness of the sound. Let's have a listen. Hopefully you could hear the brighter sound in that second performance. The baffle increased the speed of the airflow through the mouthpiece. The bigger the baffle, the brighter the sound. So rock and funk players, they prefer a mouthpiece with a baffle. There's a final element of the mouthpiece that also affects the tone, and that is the material the mouthpiece is made from. And these include plastic, hard rubber, and various metals. Some manufacturers are now using resins of various hardness, with some even sprinkled with metal. I also need to mention the 3D printed mouthpieces, which seem to be flooding the market. Earlier, I mentioned a great exercise for controlling your mouthpiece and reed, which will obviously have tonal benefits. I've always known them as Zen Notes, and there are two versions, one starting with a loud note and getting gradually softer over the whole duration of the breath, and the second one is the opposite to that, starting from just air and gradually increasing the volume once again over the full length of the breath. Let me demonstrate those two. You'll gain a lot of benefit from those two simple exercises. I hope that all made sense. As always, if this video has been of any help, please give it a like to help get it out there. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. I'd love to have you on board.